Hi, Eva. My name's Jo from Avalon by Nature, and tonight's Cuppa chat is with Eva Lenghart, who has produced these cards called Confident Woman Freedom Cards. And I've just had the joy of purchasing these from you, Eva. Thank you very much. And, lovely opportunity to share them with our customers and the people we meet across the state. And so I wanted tonight to invite you to come in and have a chat with us, and I guess introduce yourself and share, I guess, your journey, whatever parts you want of it to share, about the creation of your cards, your artwork, because this is all your artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Jo, for having me. I really appreciate your time and just asking the questions. So thank you so much, and for sharing my cards with your customers as well. That just really means so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So my journey, my goodness, where do I start?
I know, it's such a big question.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all started about 16 years ago now. I went through a pretty difficult time in my life where, I felt quite challenged. I went through a relationship breakdown, and I found drawing really helped me. So I would tune into whatever I was going through, tuning to the emotions that I was experiencing. And I would draw them. So that's what the drawings are on each card. Right. And then what I would do is write what happened. And I would write what I did to help myself through it. So at that point in my life, I was just exploring left, right, and center. What can I do to help myself feel better? Yeah. So I was studying NLP, learning EFT, various meditation practices, different healing techniques, different modalities. So it's just finding ways to feel better. So I would draw what has happened to capture the emotions, what I've gone through, and then I would write about it. And as I mentioned, write the activities that helped me through it. Mm-hmm. And over the period of the last 15 years, I basically collected these life experiences through my artwork and through my writing. And looking back, just seeing how much it's helped me to really connect to what's important to me. What are my values? What does that mean? Who am I? And how do I express that in this world? Yeah. And journey of self-love, self-acceptance, and realizing that I am a worthy human being. Yeah. And honoring that. Trust me, the inner critique has been there on that journey, and part of I suppose the creation of the cards was learning to build a relationship with that inner critique and realizing that she's really there just to keep me safe. Whenever I was exposed to something I've never experienced before, a challenge, my inner critique would come in. You can't do that. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough, blah, blah. I just realized that was a part of myself trying to keep me safe to what I knew was safe. Yeah. So with that knowledge, I built more and more relationship with her. And that was part of the journey of helping me to accept me, all aspects of myself. And that's also captured throughout the cards as well. Right. The journey of self-love, acceptance, worth, clarity of who I am, what I stand for. And just really at the end, I ended up with a pile of artwork and a pile of scraps pieces of paper. Like I remember at one point I just scattered it all out in my living room, and I could not hardly see a sort of empty piece of the carpet because they were everywhere. Wow. And I was looking at this work, this collection of my life experiences, and I thought, wow, it's really, really helped me to live more joyous life. And contribution is such a big part of my life, such a big, important aspect of who I am. And the question that kept coming up, how can I use this to help others?
Right.
It's a question that has been there for a long period of, for many, many years. And just looking at it on the floor, I was like, how can I use this to help others?
Yeah.
And the idea came through, I studied art therapy. And the idea came through one of the exercises we did there. And I thought, what if I could create a pack of cards using my artwork and using my diary, my written diary, and package it up in a way that's easily accessible and easily comprehended and applied, to help empower people on their journey, help them connect to their beautiful heart and soul and shine. So asking that question over and over and over, slowly set out on the journey of creating the deck of cards with the vision of sharing my life lessons and supporting people out there. And it just makes me think that it was all worth it, even at points where it wasn't that pretty. Looking back, I think, wow, everything surely happens for a reason.
It does, and we don't always know what it is when it's happening, do we? Can't always see
exactly. Yeah, sometimes it's years later when you go, aha, I get it.
That's it. It was a life full of aha.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you find the process of the self-publishing process?
That was a beautiful learning journey. I must say,
you've had enough distance now to be able to say that, right?
Yes. I must say I have had the most incredible angels by my side, supporting me on this journey. My incredible friend, Katrina Fuda, she's the graphic designer for Do Art. She was like an incredible godsend. She helped me basically put it all together, package it up, took my artwork, put it into the templates, the design, put it together, the box. She found the printer for me, built a beautiful relationship with them, which stands till this day. I'm about to do a next reprint of the decks of cards, and the way I approach my printer is like, hello, beautiful Stacey, how have you been? I'm so looking forward to working with you again. And it's the same back. I missed you, Eva. It's just lovely. So it's interesting how when I set out on a journey, not really knowing how I'm going to get to the end, but following that feeling in my heart and just trusting, despite the present doesn't look, there's no proof I'll be able to get there, but just trusting bit by bit. So then I found a distributor, which was again a beautiful connection that I've had, a contact from a my partner's family member, which was amazing, and we really connected, and she's really helped me to gain clarity what it takes to bring it over, understand the fees involved and things like that. So it just all fell into place. And on my Instagram, I've documented that journey, everything from getting the photograph to getting the fourth sample printed, making sure the alignment was correct. It was definitely a journey, but it was very exciting to think that there is I had a vision of what I'm aiming for at the end. So just taking baby steps and trusting that I will find the right people to support me on the way. Because my I suppose my intention for doing this was to give and contribute. So yeah, I just trusted that would align me with the right people along the path, and it did.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, cool. We're just dropping in a little bit in and out, but I've got most of that. So thank you. Thank you. I think it's my reception at this time of the night.
Okay, that's all right.
That's all right. So how did you? Because I'm wondering, because you did the artwork as part of a self-therapy process and writing your diary, but on the cards themselves, and I'll just show one, just so that people who are watching can see what we're talking about. You've got your beautiful, this one, I haven't actually shuffled them, I've kept them in order just in case. What if I choose to forgive? That's the first one there. So how did you choose what questions to place on the card there? Because it's obviously how did you choose what question to place with your artwork? Yeah.
Well, the question came last. What came first was the artwork, which was, I've just found sometimes in the midst of the emotional experience, I would find it hard to verbally express what was going on. So I would draw it, like I'd literally feel the emotions, and I would just put my hands down on a piece of paper and almost like get a visual, like I need to do orange here, yellow here, and I just have a feeling what colors to pick up. So I would draw it, then I would write what happened, and based on that, I would summarize that in a question. So the question came last to basically encapsulate what was captured with the image, and then the written aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
So just the what if. Do you want me to talk about the what if part of it? Why all the questions?
Love that.
Yeah. So I found on my journey, my apologies, I think my battery is running a little bit low.
Oh no.
As well. So I found on my journey when I would get support coaches and things like that, and life coaches, and sometimes I found when I got challenged and I wasn't ready to take on that challenge, now they would say, just just do this, and I found myself putting up brick walls, barriers, with all the limiting beliefs coming up. So what I found is when the idea is planted, the idea of the self-empowerment is planted with a question that begins with what if, it diffused the brick wall. So the suggestion of what if I choose to forgive. If I'm not ready to forgive right now and someone says just forgive, go, wow. If they say
we're not doing that.
no. Baby steps.
I want to hate more. But I can see what you mean. The what if does diffuse that. It's like, okay, I can be angry for a little bit longer, but at some point I'll be ready. What if I chose to? It becomes something that's my choice rather than I must do it. Do you think?
It places the power of what if I choose to forgive. So even what it does, it bypasses that brick wall, plans. So it's there, they can nurture it. And when they're ready, they allow the seed to grow, give it rain, give it nutrients, and let it grow. So it allows to, as I said, bypass the brick wall and really hear that empowering question. And the fact that every question has the words choose is again to empower the individual, that it's their choice. It's not me telling them, it's me giving it back to them. You are an incredibly powerful being that has choices in this world. And the questions, the reason why they are questions, to allow the individual to ask themselves, I found on my journey for a big part of the early years, I would seek my answers from other people. What do you think? What should I do? Confused and overwhelmed. So I started to go within and ask myself these questions over and over and over, starting with what if to begin with, and found it so much more empowering to go quiet within, listen, and find my own answer. So that's another reason why I made them questions as well.
So you could sit with one, for example, if you're in the middle of a decision and you're not sure which way you could go, you could choose a card and sit with that as a focus for a meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. The artwork itself seems to work that way as well. I found before I created the just had the pictures, there was no words, and I was to lay out the pictures and people would look at them and they would start talking about the thing that I was going through when I painted it, but there were no words. So what I encourage people to do when they choose a card, to hide the question first and first sit with the image and focus and meditate image in silence and see what emotions it brings up. Does it remind bring a memory, so next sparks from within, and meditate on that and be present to that emotional side, and then go to the question and sit with that and tune in and go quiet and keep asking quietly, and then just go quiet and just listen.
Wow, that sounds really practical. Very practical. How do you use those? Do you use these cards in your what place do they have in your working life now?
Gosh, I have them pretty much in every room at home. Yeah, I pick a card whenever I feel maybe uncertain about a decision, or just shuffle, let one jump out, or just spread them out and just feel which one feels right. Yeah, if I need clarity, if I need, I think just really tuning in to what I already know.
Yes.
I find the cards present to me what I quietly already know, but sometimes may not be willing to hear, or may not be ready for. And I find the cards just kind of smack in the face, like it's there. You can't hide away from this. So I find they're really helpful in that sense, sometimes to bring what's already bubbling up into the consciousness, to give me direction. The activities, as you mentioned, being practical, that was my aim. Make them really, really practical, something you can take away and utilize. So things like they remind us. The other day, I read one of the activities, and the reminder was one of the activities that I do is to bring myself to the present moment if the mind's going. Is to pose in my shoes and focus on that, the way that feels. Little to the present moment, because me wiggling my toes in my shoes is happening right here, right now, and it intervenes that inner critique going on at the time. So some people like to use breath to do that. So that's just one little example how I shuffle, pick a card, okay, there it is, yes, I hear, and just go through the book and then have a go with the activities. Sometimes they're just an amazing reminder for me, because each card, each image brings back a memory of when I drew that, what happened in my life, what triggered that particular experience. So even just picking a card, it brings back that memory for me. And I go, okay, yes, that is what I've gone through then. This is what I learned as a result of that. How can I bring that into the present experience now? So, yeah, I I use them. Sometimes I just hold them and just sort of hold them in a praying position and just breathe and trust everything I put into them is here, present within me, not necessarily outside of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it froze then. That's why I looked like a stunned mullet for a moment while I was waiting for it to come back. Sorry.
That's all right. You looked like you were listening very.
I was listening for it to come back. That's good. Oh, I've given away my secret now. What if I choose to take baby steps? It's funny actually, because I just pulled this out randomly. You know, I'm taking baby steps on a new direction as well, you know. So yeah, what if I prepare for my inner critic? Well, that was interesting. And then what if I take baby steps, you know? So that's good. I'll take that away and have a feel with that as well. I was looking on your Facebook page the other night, and you were saying something about doing workshops as well. Is that current, or is that an old thing? I think I was looking their way.
Oh no. There are some current ones,
Yeah.
but I've been running mindfulness workshops predominantly in Hyde Park in Sydney once a month. A new focus that I'm looking at with a beautiful friend of mine, Sharon Roscoe, which I'm so excited about it. She's just a gorgeous soul.
Yeah.
We're looking at running Monday evening sessions in Mossman from 7:30 till 9 every fortnight.
Yeah.
Week is going to be a session on gratitude, and the following week a session on self-care. And then once a month, we're looking at doing a half a day Saturday session, which goes into a deeper experience of what the evening sessions do. So yeah, that's very exciting. I'm absolutely passionate about empowering people in any way I can to self-care, to take that, to support them in honoring themselves and take that personal responsibility for looking after themselves, because really you can't give what you don't have. The principle of the oxygen mask. Need to fill your own cup in order then to yourself. You can't help someone else. So taking that personal responsibility for supporting and nurturing your own inner well-being, I believe, is the most selfless thing you can do, because with the intention is I have then so much more to give to others.
Yes.
So that's one of the driving passions for running these workshops. The more we have to give and ultimately contribute to making our world an even more beautiful place out there, because that's the impact we have of the people around us.
Yes. And I guess too, the more we learn for ourselves, and then we learn to share, and if we walk our talk, we have that authenticity as well, you know, that people want to either follow or to be inspired by someone who walks their talk, who lives what they believe. And I suppose if you're talking about self-care but not actually practicing it, it's inauthentic. But also when we take the time to take care of ourselves in order to do more for others, it gives that space then for them to look at themselves and also take care of themselves as well. That way you're not always doing it for them. They're learning that themselves by doing that alongside you, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Inspiring others. I believe the most powerful way to inspire, sorry, just my battery. The most powerful way to inspire others, like sometimes words aren't enough.
Yes.
Sometimes sometimes the most powerful thing is just be that you want, you would love others to be. Just like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes. Yes. Gosh.
Yes.
Oh gosh. What did you say after Gandhi's "Be the change you want to see in the world"? What did you say after that?
Oh, I said, that's the most beautiful gift that we can give.
Yes.
Is being the change that, like Gandhi said, that we want to see in this world.
Yes.
And allow that. If you, the way I like to look at it, my logo actually, the lotus flower with the ripples around it, is a icon for that.
Yeah.
We are each individual, each one of us is with this beautiful flower.
Yes.
And the way we nurture.
Sorry, I'm looking for it, but you keep talking.
The water.
There it is. I found it.
Take on the nutrients.
Yep. Go on.
When we allow ourselves to.
Oh goodness me.
Take the time to. The ripples around us, and the ripples are different to when they come from feeling full as opposed to feeling empty. So the ripples represent the impact that we make, inspiring others. The way we interact, the way we listen to others from a place of fullness as opposed to a place of emptiness is very different, and people feel the difference.
Right. So
for me, the overarching vision of Radiant Creator, and the cards are just an aspect of that, a tool, if you like, is to support myself first, to be the best version of myself, so I can support, empower, help people around me, and having an impact on people around me, they will have an impact on people around them, and the ripple grows.
Yes.
I just that sort of that vision just excites me.
Yes. And it's attainable, but it's never ending too, isn't it? It's not like once you've got that, okay, what's next? It's something that is ongoing. And sustaining.
It's absolutely, and it's the way. Talk to the lady in the supermarket. It's the way, take a moment to have a beautiful eye contact and smile with a stranger. It's the way I listen, present with a friend. These ripples can be as big as small as you want to make them. But the impact, I believe, we never know how far they go. All we know is that they came from a beautiful place.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, I think it might be easy if we perhaps have a pause there, and maybe we can get together again in the future to chat a bit more. But I'm just conscious of us fading in and out, and just I'm missing bits, and I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss. So what about if we just perhaps finish now and make a time to catch up again in a few months' time, perhaps, something like that? What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, sounds lovely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Eva, for coming and spending some time with me and sharing your artistic and spiritual process with us. I look forward to selling a lot more of your decks. I hope that, lots more people are finding them really useful tools. I know that you've put them in shops all around the lake. I'm on Lake Macquarie, so I know you put them in all around the shops up the coast and around Newcastle and Central Coast. So that's really exciting. So they should be pretty easy to get a hold of. And I look forward to being in contact with you more often too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Absolutely wonderful, and to meet you as well.
Yes.
For helping me share my heart through my car.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. We'll see you later.